pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to another, well, segment of the Enlightening venture that stars Just Cause 3. And, well, you know what? I don't know about you, but it seems to be that I'm, well, binge playing through this game to at least find out what I could discover. So, I mean, that's not really to say that, well, going back to what I've already explained about this game in general, it has a feel to that of, well, Uncharted, Tomb Raider, or many other titles out there that happen to utilize all-out combat relating guns, relating to rocket launchers, relating to vehicles, relating to many things out there in the industry that are commonly used most of the time. So, okay, here we go. I'm blowing up all sorts of things out here, including antennas, transformers, well, excavators and all that good stuff. I mean, here in this facility alone, that's involving a lot of technology, I have to destroy most of it. And I'm taking out as many bad guys as I can. And I can see a giant tower over there in the background, which I could probably at least assume that it's, well, necessary to destroy. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try to maybe take this helicopter to see what would happen, pretty much. Let's go ahead and take this. This is going to be epic, I can tell you that right now. So being able to steal vehicles is certainly quite the livelihood. Okay. Let's try and see how many... What? Wait, what the... No! Oh my gosh. Are you serious right now? Man, I just freaking died right away. I didn't even have a chance to escape from that. It's like they tease you to try and get out of there. Well, then again, this is Just Cause, so this definitely ain't anything like the others I've mentioned when it comes to all-out gun combats and all that good stuff that we've seen for generations by now. It kind of started with things like Contra, Metal Gear, and all that good stuff, but then of course we got ourselves combat that, well, involves a lot more for the taking. I could kind of understand that, seeing as we're in a bunch of new generation consoles, but here, when it comes to Generation 9 consoles, like PlayStation 5, Xbox Scarlet, which is now apparently Series X, I mean, that's really confusing. First it starts with Xbox, that's just it, Xbox. There's no, like, subtitle to it or nothing like that. It's just Xbox. Then there's Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. That's real confusing. Why not just stick with numbers or letters? Not all of them. It's like when PlayStation made PlayStation, and then PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and then we got PlayStation 5. I kind of wonder what PlayStation 6 would be like. Or are they going to do the same thing here? Well, sorry to get sidetracked here by all that good stuff, but that's just kind of what happens, really. New generation consoles obviously mean there's going to be a lot of debate going on between all that, but I'd rather not go there. No debates for this guy. Ah, freaking face planted. Didn't really get a good chance to try and get out of there alive. Okay. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to try and find out if I can get over to that big tower over there. Okay, it looks like I finally got something. So, I got their attention. Okay. Let's see if I can get over to that large tower and try to pull out the RPG and see if I can open fire on that thing. Ooh. Or of course I could just plant C4 on it. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Okay, here it comes. It's coming down on me. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get covered in the rock. Oh! Man, right in the path of it. And that is one big tower. Goodness. Well, thankfully it's taken out now, so I don't have to worry nothing about it. So it looks like I actually could try and do a lot more with this game than I'd probably anticipate. Seeing as I'm doing a lot better here than I actually was the first time around. So, I feel pretty good about revisiting something like this. So, okay, let's get a good view up here. Oops. Landed a little too soon. That's pretty stupid that you can't really grab onto anything. Yeah, that's one of many, like, flaws that I'm noticing. If there's, like, 5 flaws that I can pretty much disclose, it's that, well, sometimes the game's difficulty progresses too quickly, which would pretty much give you little to no time to practice, and, well, like right now, basically, it's getting a little too easy to, well, avoid the helicopter's gunfire, but then all of a sudden I get hit by something I'm not aware of. Yeah, like I said, it progresses too quickly sometimes, and, well, there's times where it tends to cheap shot you, which can be a bit irritating at times, but that's not really to say that, well, it should be hard. I mean, challenge is a great thing to have, especially if you wanted to work on certain skills. It might be tough at first, and it'd be very frustrating, but the frustration factor really is more about fun if you can perform it correctly. So, that's just what that is. A couple more reasons would be, well, reason 2 is that, well, you're looking at the graphics right now, the frame rate's not very good right here. This is an original PlayStation 4 that I'm using right now, and as a result, its frame rate functions, it's completely unmodded. It's all original, unadulterated, and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much what that's all about. So, of course, you can see that the frame rate's having some problems. It occasionally freezes and glitches a bit every now and then. I mean, I kind of have yet to see what would happen if I fell through the ground. And then, of course, there's the third reason where it tends to get monotonous at times, because you're technically doing some of the same exact things over and over again. You're flying over, well, certain military bases and the like that General Di Ravello had basically set up with the same exact goal every single time, to take out as many things as possible. And in this case, there are a lot of things I have to destroy. I've got to take out lots of things, including antennas, Dopplers, radars, sonars, dishes, and transformers, and a lot of other things right here. This is one of the larger sized bases that pretty much occupy the entire area of the fictional town called Medici, pretty much. So basically speaking, the monotony is kind of more in about how repetitive it tends to be most of the time, because you're technically doing some of the same things. They do have some differences that they put in here just to make it seem like you're doing some things differently. But like I said, you technically have the same exact goal every single time. And as I've also said, the difficulty can pretty much change, but you technically don't really have as big of a variety. Not unless you're pretty much playing the main stories, and that's kind of what another problem is. There's not really a clear way to show how you can progress the main story in the game that's involved. Of course, I've pretty much gotten through most of Chapter 1, pretty much. But the fact is, I can't really figure out how to get up to like Chapter 2, 3, and 4, pretty much. Up until like the very, very end of the game, where you probably take on General Di Ravello and all that good stuff. I pretty much have yet to figure that out. I could try and, well, do it as part of, well, a walkthrough. Maybe someone has figured it out and probably has better time on this game than I have, but again, that's just kind of what that's all about. The fourth reason would probably be because, well, I mean, the franchise is something that's not very good for the most part. And then, of course, the fifth and final reason is that, well, I mean, it's mostly having to do with reason number 4, but Just Cause 3 kind of does give me that feeling that this is probably what eventually led to the failure of Part 4, and I don't really blame anybody for having that put in mind, but, you know,